Well, we're here with Bob and Kathy Campbell, and one of the things we have in our MFC retreat, and if you've been watching these programs over last week and this week, had different guests who are different pastors or leaders in our MorningStar Fellowship of Churches. I hope you picked up on how everyone is so different. In the right way, we don't believe in cookie cutter churches, cookie cutter ministries. And that's one of the parts of the message, and I think a main message I hope you're getting. And God makes every snowflake different. He loves diversity. He loves uniqueness. And one time he said to me years ago, he says, you're not planting churches, you're planting franchises. They all serve the same burger, the same Coke, and the same fries, and I'm not going to be in any one of those. He'll bless many things he won't inhabit. He'll even visit places he won't inhabit. Where's that place he's going to dwell? But there's something of the uniqueness and all that we've got to be willing to do it different. Yeah. And I so appreciate those who are going into the world like Jesus did with the gifts and use them, touching people. We got a huge flea market up here. And Todd Bentley took a bunch of teams up there, and they set up tables, everything, did the same prayer for healing, prayer for spiritual readings and dream interpretation. And I know they had a goal of 1,000 salvations, and they more than reached that goal. Wow. And, it's people are hungry for God. Yeah. But we really have to learn sometimes to go in without our Christianese. They don't understand. When you tell them they're lost, they say, I'm at 3rd Main. I know exactly where I am. I'm not lost. Yeah. What's wrong with you? Are you lost? There's, we really have to do that. And you guys are out there going into casinos when invited. And, but you take a team. Yeah. Yeah.
Always take a team.
Now, you mentioned something. This is really going to blow your minds. We don't mind that. I don't mind the controversy to see breakthroughs. You talk about going into bars with your daughter, pretty good-looking girl, probably attracts
the guys
It does.
to minister to them. Now, that's a new one.
That is.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We started going out clubbing on Saturday nights on East Avenue in Rochester, and I took 2 of the prettiest girls I could find. I knew that they would be like a magnet, and we got out there, and we found favor even with the police officers, because there's a cover charge to get into clubs, and they were opening up the gate and telling us we could just go in at no cost. And we prophesied over so many young men. There was one young man that was totally drunk, couldn't open his eyes or hold his head up, so he was coming over like this, but he wanted to be blessed. And that's what they would come over many times. I want to be blessed by you. And so anyways, I asked him with his head down, I said, do you want to be delivered from alcohol? And he said, yes. And so I just said, give me your hand, and I commanded a spirit of alcohol out of him. And he sobered up and just yelled, what just happened to me? Totally sober, and it drew quite a crowd. And then I went on to say, listen, I've got this team with me, and we would like to tell you what the Lord is speaking to you right now. And so we did, and he fell in just a puddle of tears. He had 2 years prior lost his 2-year-old daughter. She had run out into the street and just been run over. And so he didn't know what to do with the pain, and so he went to drinking. And so...
Isn't that the Lord? Isn't that the Lord? Well, that's, he came to be a light in the darkness. Yeah. And, they're not going to wander into our churches. No. Now, we do not encourage everyone to try that. Yeah. You've got to have grace. You've got to have a calling. You've got to have the confidence. Yeah, you've got to have, that's right. The covering to know that you're watching each other. This is, because there's traps, but Jesus did that, and his disciples did that.
He did. He did. My son was out there at the time, and he would bring his buddies by, and so we did a lot of prophesying, and they would go and bring more, and sometimes they would bring them over in a headlock. So no, you've got to hear what she has to say.
To Jesus.
Yeah, we had a lot of great encounters with the Lord out there. There was one night where there was gang activity. You see fights every time the bars close and the clubs close, there's fights. And you see gang activity with, there's knives and guns. And one time it was coming too close to us. And so the two girls are on both sides of me, and they were nervous, and we were backed against the wall of this building. And so I just called forth angelic activity. And I'll tell you, all of a sudden, as people came walking by, it was like they hit a wall and they had to go around a big circle.
Wow.
And I said to Kelly and Charity, these are the angels of the Lord that have encamped around us. We're okay. We're going to be okay. And we were. You know, God's protection was there, but we really saw God come and touch people in really powerful ways.
Yeah. It's nothing like that. He loves people. Loves everyone.
He loves.
Well, listen, we're going to be right back with Bob and Kathy Campbell. What a remarkable ministry.